Hey guys, I'm just going to wait for everyone to join us. So I'm back with a tutorial following yesterday's tutorial. Yesterday we made succulent cookies, not cookies, I made succulents and here they are. You can see them here. They're all dry, super pretty. Hi guys, hello. So today we're going to make hexagon succulent cookies. I'm super excited because I love this shape. And you can find all the recipes on my blog. Hi, Kathy. All right, so let's jump right in. So these are the succulents we made yesterday. I'm not gonna mess with them now. I'm just going to show you that they're dry. I could remove a few, but I wanted to do some shading on the roses. So this one I can actually remove. See, it's super easy to remove. And the sprinkles actually stick. I wasn't sure if they're gonna stick or not, but they're sticking. So I'm going to set these aside and we're going to work on the cookies, and then we'll come back and we'll finish these before we add them to our cookies. All right, so first I'm going to make some transfers, and these are going to be little pots on the cookies. And these have to dry overnight before we can add concrete texture to them. So what you want to do, you want to make these ahead of time, and you want to pipe them on wax paper or parchment. I'm going to use small pieces of parchment. I didn't want to waste it, so I have it here. Hello. And you want to use icing that is about 20 to 25-second consistency. I prepared this earlier today and it's a bit separated, so I'm just going to massage it. And if you have any questions in between, I can just post that in the comment section. I can see them and I can address them as I work. Okay, looks like I have to change the bag, as always. The sugar that they have here is giving me a heart attack. All right, my piping bags. Oh, I have to get out. Oops. There we go. So I'm using tipless piping bags today. I'm just going to swap out my bag because there's a piece of sugar in there. Sugar here, it's not super polarized, so I often have these problems. All right, trim this off, make an opening. All right. Okay. I need my scribe. And so I'm going to pipe these. I had some better parchment here, but I can't find it. Oh, here it is. All right. This one is flat. So these are going to be pots, concrete pots. What I'm doing, I'm going to outline them and flat them, and then we have to let those dry. I have some already dry, so this is just a quick demo for you guys. And I'll show you how to create really fun concrete texture with stiff rail icing. Okay, so you would make as many as you need for your cookies, how many cookies you're making, and then you let those dry, okay? You can make your own shapes. I just drew them with a pencil, and I've got some already dry here. I'm not going to remove them from the wax paper yet. We have to add the texture. And to add the texture, I'm going to use both of these, and then let's see how many we have left. I'm going to use stiff foil icing. Now, concrete has so many different... Oh, can you show us how you hold the bag? This is how I was holding the bag. Okay, I'll do a couple more just so you can see. I'll do this one. That's a different portrait. See, this is how I hold the bag. This bag is quite small. I didn't put a lot of icing in it because I didn't need to have a lot of icing for this step. Hi, Bridget. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad that you like it. Hi, Mar. And I'm using my index finger, my left hand, to keep the bag somewhat steady. And now I increase the pressure, so more icing is coming out. And you can see this is not super fluid icing. It's on a stiffer side, so I now have to agitate it to get it smooth. And to make this color, I just used white icing and I added just a touch of black. Okay. So that's that. And now we can go ahead and start on the concrete texture. Now, concrete comes in so many different textures, actually. Look at these spots. These are super smooth. So if you want to achieve something like that, you need to use icing that is more fluid. And a couple years ago, I used a technique with wax paper to achieve this look. I was inspired by a cake artist on Instagram, Charles. They do amazing concrete cakes with buttercream, of course. And so I wanted to actually achieve bubbles that are present in a lot of the concrete texture. Like you see all these cavities. So I realized that when you are using dipping technique or 10-second royal icing, there are some bubbles. More liquid you add to icing, more bubbles are there, because you have to mix it really vigorously to get it all combined. So I used wax paper on top of my icing. And once it dries, you have to let it dry overnight, unfortunately. It doesn't, or sometimes even longer. And then once you remove the wax paper, you get this look of royal icing concrete look. You can find a full tutorial on my blog, anielas.com. Another fun concrete texture. This is something you could do with the accordion method. We did that with cupcake liners. Not cupcake liners, with a cookie cutter a couple of months ago. And I also have a YouTube video how to do that. So you could also play with that and then maybe paint the inside with white food coloring to get that look. Another look is this. This is a smooth concrete. Look how beautiful gold looks. I'm also going to use some gold and black. So that should be fun later on. Okay. So I'm going to do rough concrete texture. And to do that, I'm going to use stiff foil icing. I have here, this is like a dark gray, and it's almost white, but it has a little bit of gray in it. You can't really see it. It appears more white than anything else. So what I like to do, I'm gonna spread a thin layer with my spatula. Oh, I need to use a smaller one. Here, this one is better. Not spatula, this is a palette knife, right? So you want to spread that on. You can use a brush also if you don't have a palette knife. I'm going to add a little bit of this dark one here. And now take the brush, kind of like blend it in. You might want to remove the residue if you have a lot of icing on there. I have a damp paper towel here, so that's where I'm wiping off the brush. Okay, and since this is a stiff royal icing, it allows me to, I'm gonna add a little more of the dark gray just to have some color in there. It allows me to make holes in the icing, basically, little cavities. And to do that, you can use a scribe. See how I'm making little holes? You could also do some lines, scratches, and stuff like that, just to give it a rough look. Okay, thanks, Mar. And so you could do this on the whole cookie. Why not? If it's hard to move the icing with the brush, you can dampen it ever so slightly, but don't make it too wet, because then you're going to alter the consistency of your icing, and you want it to be on a stiffer side when you're doing this. I'm going to clean up the edge, so just go along the edge. This is very important that you keep the transfer attached to your wax paper or parchment so it's not moving. Okay, and then you can repeat on the rest of the shapes you have. I'm going to do actually one. I want to do two of these. So let's do this again. Those of you who are just joining us today, I'm continuing. Hey, Olga, I thought you were not going to be able to make it. We're doing succulent cookies today. Yesterday, I was doing succulent, realizing succulents, and you can watch the replay. I included a link in the description if you missed that video. And today I'm going to actually use those succulents to decorate my cookies. I'm using Hexagon cookies, and now I'm making small concrete flower pots. So I piped my shapes on a parchment, or you can use wax paper, and let those dry. And now I'm creating texture with royal icing. To create texture, your icing needs to be thick. If it's runny, you won't be able to create ridges or shape real icing this way. Oh no, I'm not on Instagram. I will be on Instagram on I forget what's today? Today is today is Monday. So tomorrow we have a live, guys, with Marlene of Montreal Confections. We're doing a really fun theme. We're doing cupcakes again, and that's at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And then on Wednesday, I'm gonna be doing another live on Facebook, but I haven't decided what I'm gonna make yet. So maybe if you have a suggestion, you can post it in the comments. And then on Thursday, I'll be on Instagram. I'll be doing another live on Instagram. Do you guys prefer watching lives on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube if you are watching from YouTube? Hey, June, you're definitely not late. You haven't really missed anything. I've been doing these flower pots. I'm going around the perimeter, removing any kind of residue so it's not going to change the shape of my pot. And now we can make the holes. Okay, so I've got 4 pots. Aren't they cool? Oh, you like it? You like to watch from Facebook? YouTube. Yeah, YouTube is always, I guess, easier because you don't have to log in. Facebook. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Right, so I'm gonna put these on a side here somewhere if I can find a space. And I'm going to show you the cookies that we'll be making. So I've got my hexagons here. Now, if you don't have, oh, God, you watch all 3 platforms, but more on Facebook. Okay, so let me just show you these cutters. So these are Atico brand. And if you don't have these cutters, you're missing out. These are awesome. I know you may be wondering, I do store my cutters with raw rice. It helps to prevent rusting. It absorbs moisture. If you don't have raw rice, you can also use silica gel packets. And I just have it in there. So these are quite heavy duty. They're not flimsy or anything like that. I've had these for years. And Atico sells all kinds of sets. They're shapes, rounds, squares, fluted rounds. So you might want to check that out. Those are really nice to have, very sturdy and very useful for more than cookies. You can cut out biscuits with them and things like that. Okay, so I actually use my cutters to not only cut out shapes, but I also cut out, not shapes, cut out the full cookies, but I also cut out these borders. And then we have this one actually spread a bit. This one is older. I didn't use my perforated mat. On these, I used perforated mat. And you see they didn't spread as much. This one was just on a parchment. You see the difference? It's quite big, huh? But I can still demonstrate the next step on this cookie. It would be a shame to waste it. So what we're going to do, we're going to spread a really thin layer of icing on the cookie, and then we'll airbrush. So my icing is separated, of course, because it likes to do that. So I'm just going to remix it. Do you have any questions, guys? And for all the tools that I'm using today, you can simply visit my my Amazon shop. Just link is in the description box under the video. And you can shop there, look at all my favorite cookie cutters. These are also included in there. Oh, come on, you had to separate. That's what happens sometimes. All right. All right, hopefully it's going to work. So now I'm just going to pipe. This icing is on a thinner side. I'm going to use flat brush. This is from a Wilton 5-piece set that I absolutely love. I decided to go with more bold colors. Design we are doing today, I actually, okay, Olga bought, okay, you bought a piping gel on clearance, and I don't know what it's for. Okay, I don't use piping gel much. The only time I've used piping gel was to actually attach my edible image onto my gum paste when I was making wine bottle cake. I think that's. I don't know what else you can like. What else can you use? Can you, June help me out? I think you know probably better what to use the piping gel for. I don't use piping gel that often, to be honest. That was the only time I actually used it, and I think have it to apply frosting sheet on my gum paste bottle. I wouldn't say that it's like a glue like when you make Tylos and glue. It's not. It doesn't really dry hard, I find. Oh, to write on cakes. What else did I have used it, but I don't remember exactly because it doesn't really. I don't think it dries. It just it kind of doesn't dry. It reminds me of glucose. All right, so you want a really thin layer on there, and then let it dry. Reason I'm not doing a whole lot of icing because we'll have our little succulents, and that's gonna be quite bulky. So I didn't want to have too much icing on there. Okay. Oh, and cakes, yes, I would say that. Yeah, it's probably more for cakes than cookies. Because cookies, you want your surface to somewhat dry, at least dry to the touch, especially if you are packaging them. So it will make it harder if it cannot, dry. Now, I'm also going to do another design. I'm going to do a partial leopard print on this. If I can get my icing to behave. All right, so I've got my blue. So I'm going to, let's do blue and pink leopard print. Where am I? Okay. Oh yes, yes, you could also do that. Yes, you could also use the, I forget, you could use it to apply, I think, fondant onto cookies. But most people use um, corn syrup, but also on cakes. Yes. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, this design is actually inspired by shelves, hexagon shelves that I can't wait to get. I really want hexagon shelves. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Kathy. I wanted to do something brighter instead of some muted colors. Okay. Oops. Oh, awesome. That would match the cupcakes you made. All right, so then you have to let this dry. It will take maybe 30 minutes. You see, this is already kind of partially dry, but you want this to be dry because we'll be airbrushing it. And before I get to the airbrushing, let's do this next step. Let's put this on a side here somewhere if I can fit it. And the next step is going to be, I'm going to decorate these borders. And to decorate these, I decided to do wet on wet with luster dust. Well, and then think about, I'm going to get all the succulents. I really wanted to do something different, something fun, and I wasn't really, I said no boundaries today, so anything goes. So what I'm going to do, where is my, here it is. All right. So we're going to use gold with black, wet on wet, meaning I'm going to pipe the black and then I'm going to swirl the gold into the black. Yes, you'll be able to rewatch Olga. I'm going to have it in my live video library on Facebook, and it's also going to be on YouTube as always. So you'll be able to rewatch. Okay. Fix some holes here and there. Okay, almost. Now we can open this up. Give it a good shake. I'm actually going to add a drop of it here. That should be plenty. I'm going to just take it and kind of swirl it in. Take a little more. You could also use a brush if that's easier. I just don't want to waste too much of it. You know, this stuff is quite expensive. Okay. Hi. Hi, Debbie. So this is going to be the frame. I'm going to do another one. I will struggle with the placement. Sorry, guys. You saw my line broke there. I'm not too worried about it. Okay. So this looks good. So I can start with my gold. Okay. So you have to let this dry. Okay. I'm going to set this aside. And we can actually move on. And I'm going to do some airbrushing. So I have to set it up. I have I actually chosen, I think, 3 stencils that we're going to use. I love Art Deco designs very much. And so I'm going to, can you see? Okay, this one. And then we'll use also a stencil. Okay, now this is not, I don't think this is Art Deco. This is, I don't know what this is called, but I like that a lot. And then this one. Okay, so I'm gonna have to move things around here, and I'm going to use brown airbrush color. Nothing too flashy. So we'll see. I mean, this is totally different than from what I did a couple of years ago. Look at these. So this is basically a variation. We are doing a variation of this style. Here I piped borders directly on a cookie. Now I'm adding a border that is a cookie border to give it a bit more dimension. And they are black. And instead of doing the background dark, I made the background bright, like my borders here. So I just wanted to do something a little different today, just to give you a different tutorial. I'm also going to use, let me just take this off. So I'm going to use, this is a Sweet Sugar Bell stencil holder that I'm sure many of you have seen. And let's put this stencil in there. It's also listed in my Amazon shop under all the tools for airbrushing and stenciling. So it has magnets. If you haven't seen this before, these silver rounds, they're all magnets. So that's what you heard. They snap in place. What's good about this holder that it can accommodate different sizes of stencils. It's not just for one size. It can work with larger stencils as well. So I've got my airbrush here. I'm gonna wear gloves because I always mess up everything. My hands always get dirty. All right. Let's perform the surgery. Okay, so I've got my cookie here. I also should put my, oh, this is not gonna work. Just a second, I have to get a paper towel because this is all gonna get messy. Okay. Paper towel. This is the magic of life. I wasn't really prepared for this. I've never done stenciling live, so this is a new one for me. And since I didn't add additional icing on top of my cookies, they're pretty much the same thickness as they were when I took them out of the oven. So this stencil holder, okay, this way, you can see this stencil holder has first one bottom frame. It's thinner than the top frame. So if you are working with thinner cookies, you can use this side and place them on top because you want the stencil to sit snugly on top of your cookie. Something like this, okay? This is a bit loose. You can see there's some gaps. So I'm going to, okay, so it's going to be like this. And so I want the stencil to be this way. Okay, let's, okay, I guess like this. So it's centered. So I have the, oh, no, I should do it this way. Oh yeah, this is better, I like this better. All right. Oops, excuse the noise. It's the, oops, the chair got stuck. It's the heavy duty airbrush that I use, my compressor. So I'm just gonna add a few drops. Okay. I should have picked different color. I'm not a big fan of this brown, but let's see. So this is going to be on there, and then we have our succulent is going to go in here. Not succulent, the pot, and then we'll put succulents in there. I'm not too keen on this brown. Well, lesson learned. That's the only color I have here, so I'm going to do all of them brown. Too bad. I think maybe if I had used black, it would be better, but it's okay. We can live with it. I'm going to do another one with this design. All right. Oh, I have both actually, Karen. I have both. And this is actually Duff, and I don't even sell this anymore. Airbrush Color by Duff. It used to sell at Michael's. All right, not too. It's a bit odd, the brown. You rarely see airbrushing with brown, right? I don't see that anyway. I don't airbrush as much. But now I'm going to use this one. Maybe this one will give us a different look. Something that I like better. All right. Now this one you have to kind of pay attention to the lines. if you want it to be centered. So I'm going to center it. Running up. Oh, I like that. I like that. This is me. Okay, so let's do, I have another blue one. Let's see, so I don't forget. Okay, let's do one in pink. Because I've got pink as well. So, I'm centering it. I should have enough paint in there. Now this is much better. I like this, or maybe I'm just too critical. Look at this one and this one. Do you like the brown, guys? I'm not too keen on the brown, but it's okay. All right, so let's try the third stencil. Okay, let's just get it out. The third one is this one. Okay. It just proves that the pink is the best color, isn't it? Pink is such a beautiful color. I love pink. Okay, we have one more to airbrush, and then we have three, but I wanted to also try airbrushing the leopard print using a blocker. Oh, thanks, Debbie. All right, so that's my yellow. And then here we go. Here is my leopard print, and I need a blocker. And I had a blocker here somewhere. I think here it is. So to make a blocker, this is just a piece of mylar material. Oops, can you see? This is a piece of mylar material. It's a little cloudy. You can also get it in clear. And this is something that you would use to make your own stencils. Okay, so I'm going to, with this shape, I think we can use, so what I'll do, I'll block it. I love that sound. Love that sound. All right, so now we have our here. I have no idea how this is going to come out. I haven't done this. This is a total experiment. Oops, my color is spitting out everywhere. It's going to be lots of mess to clean up. My, oh, I wonder if I should have done it. Okay. I think the blocker needs to be on the bottom, right? So let's redo this. Okay. What's wrong here? Oh, is it because it's too big? Yes, yes. Because I need to cut it. I don't feel like cutting it, but I don't think I have a smaller. What else can I use to block it? Would paper work? Paper should work, no? Let's see. If I can cut this to size. Okay. What can I do? Or am I missing something? Oh yeah, wax paper should work. What am I missing? Is it... What's going on here? I guess I'm just gonna have to use my scribe and press it down. Oh, I know what happened. My design is a bit raised. Okay, I see now. So no idea how this is gonna come out. Oh, it's a funky little design there. All right, and we have, that's it. So that's for the airbrushing. So now I'm gonna, oh yeah, do the airbrush first, then do the leopard. Maybe I should have done the leopard with with the marker. Yeah, well, I don't know. I have to figure it out. So I'm going to do a little cleanup here. And while that's happening, I wanted to also tell you about my subscription on Global Belly. It's a monthly subscription that you guys can subscribe to, and you will get a new cookie decorating kit to decorate every month. All right. All right, so I'm back, and now we're going to finish this up. Okay, so I'm gonna Set my camera up, sorry. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm going to, oh, actually we have to do the succulents, I forgot. We have to finish some of these succulents. And so I'm going to use, yesterday I mentioned I was gonna use Master Elite, so I brought some Master Elite up here. And I have violet, and I've got turquoise waters. So I already did 2 of the roses. Now I don't know if you can tell the difference. This one is done with the violet and this one is blue. I kind of no, June, the leopard actually was raised because I didn't have enough icing on the first design. This one is much better. This one synced in. It's fine. So which one do you like better? Do you like the blue or the violet one? I actually would like to go with this one, but let me know which one do you guys like. Yes, Crystal. The kits come with everything. They come with cookie mix, royal icing mix. You have to make the cookies and bake them. It comes with the cutter and all the tools that you need. So if you need a piping bag, it comes with piping bags, piping tips, and all the food colors that you need, and also all the instructional videos and step-by-step picture PDF files that you can use to decorate the cookies. Once you become a subscriber, you will also get an access to a private Facebook group where I can give you tips and guide you for the process if you have any questions. Okay, so most of you like the violets. I'm gonna go with the violet. And the Master Elite is notoriously difficult, I find, because it colors everything around you. I mean, everything. The little specks of color gets everywhere. So I just need to find my brush that I can use. Here we go. So I'm going to take some of these roses out here so we can work on them. Okay, that should be enough. All right, set this aside. And I'm just going to color the center a little bit. And like I said, this is so, I find it difficult to work with, I have to say. Everybody is loving it, but I find it so difficult to work with these colors. They color everything. But that means they're good, I guess. They're strong colors, good quality. So in order to do this, you have to make sure that your transfers are completely dry. Because I'm putting pressure on this flower. You can just use also the residue on the packaging. Don't waste anything. Okay, let me bring up the ones that are not colored just so we can compare them and see the difference. A little bit of shading does. Close this up. So these, you can see what a difference, huh? Just a little bit of shading. And now you can simply remove them from the parchment. It's really, they come off really easily. And then you can discard the parchment. So I'm going to put this aside and then we can start assembling our cookie. You see all the mess here? It's like the color. Look how vibrant it is once it gets on a wet cloth. These colors have to be activated with liquid before you add them to royal icing. Otherwise, you'll have specks of color in your royal icing. That's why I haven't really been using it as much. But I can't wait to try it with my meringues. Also on my hand and everywhere. If you have a tip on how to work with it without getting mess everywhere, let me know. Okay, we are ready. So I'm gonna do pink, of course, because I love pink so much. And let's see if this is better. All right. So this is the frame, and I actually have some of the parts here. So these I made earlier. Just peel them off. The idea is to have a part on the bottom here, and then we can arrange. Where do I get them? Just look up Master Elite. I don't know Master Elite. It's the Sugar Art. The Sugar Art. I guess it's the Sugar Art. Yes, there is a website. www.thesugarart.com. They have different food colors. This is FDA approved, so it's fully edible. And like you said, like you could see, it worked as dry powder, and you can also add it to your edibles. It works really well with macarons. So now we can add our succulents. So I'm going to just add a few of these that we made yesterday just to see how it's going to look. I like this one. Oh, remember this one? So we made, there was a hole. Do you remember this one? There was a hole in icing and I added this large pearl. So it's kind of funky looking. I like that. And then I have, okay, let's see which ones we can use. This is cute. Now, one thing to remember is not to overwhelm your cookie with all these succulents. I'm just taking these out here so I have more options, and maybe you can help me design it. But you don't really need 50 succulents on your cookie. 1, 2, 3 may be enough. Also important to have some height in the design. So to do that, you can add more leaves. And we are going to pipe those later on. So now I'm going to actually mark with my scribe where the frame actually starts. So I can then place my pot here. Okay. And this one will be kind of need here. And then I need a smaller one here. So that could be this green. And then we're going to add a tall leaf there. So we can remove these. And to make the leaves, I'm using, this is like a light green. So I'm going to make a small V-shaped opening. Oh no, on this one, on the green one, sorry, on this one. So I have a leaf tip here. Well, I don't have a leaf tip, but I mean, yeah, we can make a leaf tip. So this is a small thing that I need. Okay. Sometimes these are tricky to cut. Okay. Let's see how this is going to come out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pipe some of these, let's call it a snake plant, right? Some of these like there, and then we can add our decorations. This way it has some height, and it balances all the bulky flowers we're going to add. Oh, did I? Oh, this way. I see what I did there. All right, let's do this again. Okay, so now I'm going to glue my top on here. And we can glue the rest of the flowers or succulents. All right, so I've got my large rose here. I'm also going to add some filler here down the pot. Okay, and then we had put this one here. And then a small green one. Hopefully it's going to fit. We are going to make it fit. Okay, and now we have to glue frame. So that's the first design. Now I'm dying to do the leopard because it's so different. So I've got another. Oh, but yes, it is so raised that it's not going to work. So if you decide to do this with the leopard, make sure that you fully flood your cookie. So it's not going to work actually. So let's do, oh, this is pink as well. Okay, so let's do purple. All right, so with this one, I am going to go this shape. Okay. Again, you want to add some height to your design. And I'm going to put on this side now. Okay, we'll glue this on. And now we can, okay. So I've got my little roses, and we can add 1, 2. This is nice. Okay, let's do that. Let's add this little fella here. And then I'm going to pipe I'm gonna let it crust for a little bit and then I'll add more. I know what I'm gonna do. Let's do little tiny dots, these. Thanks, June. All right, let's utilize one of these babies. Not too keen on that. Maybe I can add the rose there. All right, yes. So the rose is gonna go there, and then we'll have a design. This is my filler. And now we just have to glue this on here. So I don't know if I didn't add, okay, let's see if I can grab the picture. I wanted to show you my inspiration. So let's see if I can grab it very quickly. So you can see it. All right. Oh, here it is. Okay, so these beautiful hexagon shelves, they were the inspiration behind this project a couple years ago, and as well as today. Today I did a bit of a different design. I haven't done this. This was the first time I was doing this. As you could saw that there were a few parts that didn't work out, like the leopard print. But I do like the look. The only thing is that it's raised and it's not going to allow me to add the border that I created with the cookie. So you can really play with this design. It's such a fun project. Thank you guys. And I have more cookies to decorate, so I'm going to get to it, and then I will be back tomorrow. We'll be back with Marlin, Montreal Confections, and we have cupcake decorating live going on at 1 p.m. Eastern time, so I hope you guys can join us. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.